Hello and welcome back to day 2 of the Future Blockchain Summit in Dubai. I'm Adel, the host, and today I've got a special guest with me, Tim Popplewell from Scintilla.
That's correct.
I love that name.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about your story and what brings you here today.
Yeah. We're Scintilla Networks. We are rebranding this week. We're rebranding whilst we're here. We were previously called Toko.
Toko?
Toko is relatively well known. I'll tell you why in a moment. We were born out of DLA Piper, which is a global law firm in their innovation hub. We have recently come out of DLA Piper, so I am now the proud owner of Scintilla Network, and we decided this was the time to rebrand.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other reasons, but that's really the main reason that we're coming out of DLA Piper.
I'm curious to know, I'm really drawn by the name Scintilla. It almost sounds alien-like, in a way, like some kind of alien robotic, I don't know, that's the first thing that comes to my head. Right. Scintilla. How did you come up with this name?
That's a really good question. The lady who came up with this name is standing just over there, actually.
Really?
We went through a whole bunch of potential names. Quite difficult to find a name.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done this, but it's actually trying to find a name. The other reason it's difficult is we're actually fully regulated by VARA.
Right.
Which actually means there's relatively few names we can take that actually meet their kind of criteria. We were looking for something that kind of had some element of a spark, some element of excitement, some element of a creation of something. And scintilla is a Greek word. And that's exactly what it means. If you think about the longer words, scintillating, it's this idea of a spark, something reborn, something coming to life.
Something coming to life.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love that. I love
exactly.
that. So you mentioned that you're VARA-regulated.
Yeah.
So it's good to have VARA-regulated companies come in here. We like to showcase the fact that they are regulated fully by the UAE, well, Dubai. What's that process like? How did you get VARA regulated? Was it a long process? Was it expensive? Walk us through the journey.
Yeah, it was a process of about 18 months.
18 months?
Yeah. It was long, it was arduous. If you think about it, they're really the first people to regulate on a global basis, and therefore they're taking it relatively slow. They're making sure that the people who they regulate are really of the highest caliber. So we had an awful lot of work to do, an awful lot of documents to fill in, an awful lot of processes to go through.
I imagine.
But they were very helpful all the way through. Every step of the way we knew what we were doing, we knew who we had to talk to and so on. But ultimately, they had a lot of, as you can tell here, there's a lot of people who are somewhere through that process, waiting for initial approval or waiting for full market license and so on. And it just takes time, but they get there in the end.
And does the fee structure work on a monthly basis, or is it a one-year basis? How does it work?
It's an annual basis.
It's an annual basis.
Yeah.
Kind of like the FCA.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Yeah.
And would you say it's on the high end of being expensive, or more on the low end?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not the right person to answer that question.
Yeah.
It's on the high end.
It's on the high end.
Bring them down. Yeah, no, I'm not the right person to answer that.
Because we get lots of people here that come in, and some of them are licensed by DMCC, DIFC, DFSA. Why did you choose VARA? Any particular reason?
Yeah, we're a digital tokenization engine for real-world assets. Right. And they are the first global regulator of digital assets, so it kind of made perfect sense. At that time, Toko, as it was in Hong Kong, because at that time it looked like the regulation in Hong Kong was a little bit ahead of here. But VARA came along. Part of the reason as well was that VARA were being aided. One of the legal firms in there were DLA Piper, and DLA Piper were where we came from, and DLA Piper helped them write the regulations. Right. Were there every step of the way, so it kind of made sense for us as a DLA Piper entity to come here.
Makes sense.
So we moved from Hong Kong to here about coming up for 2 years ago now.
Oh wow, interesting. Because Hong Kong is another well-known hub for fintech and all things crypto too. So I wondered, are you planning to go back for Hong Kong FinTech Week by any chance?
I am not. Apparently the event to go to, I am reliably informed, is happening in February. I don't even know what that's called. We've been talking about FinTech Week, but there comes a point where if you're not careful, you end up going to events after events this time of year.
Events. Yeah, it's true.
And there's a time and place where actually we're a business and we actually need to make money, and so we actually have to do some work once in a while. So no, we're missing that. We've got one next week in London, and then I can't remember where the next one. I think the next one might even be Hong Kong in February. And then we do go to Paris Blockchain Week in, I think, March or April next year,
Wonderful.
which I think is a tremendous event.
So what have you got in the pipeline now for 2025 onwards? What can the audience expect from Scintilla?
We've got a whole bunch of really exciting use cases coming to fruition. There's a couple of world firsts that we're kind of not allowed to talk about at the moment. And this is one of the things I would say is that there are a relatively small amount of companies who aren't really looking for a great deal of PR just at the moment, because they're busy building things. And hopefully one of those things is going to come to fruition probably early next year, which is going to be a world first in the market. But if I was to step back and really look at what are we doing, we're what I would call a mission-driven business.
Mission-driven business.
We are, blockchain and tokenization in particular for me, you can sometimes say, well, it's kind of a problem looking for a solution. And sometimes there's a lot of great tech, but what's the problem they're actually solving? We're really trying to do it the other way around. We're looking for the big problems, and we're looking to solve them. And so we're not working with a massive amount of clients. We're not doing some of the more vanilla financial products and so on, which could have been easy for us to do to keep the wheels spinning and so on.
Right.
We're looking for these big, world-first, real game-changing, problem-solving type use cases. And 2025 is going to be 3 or 4 of those coming live.
Wonderful. I'll be sure to follow your space, and I look forward to all the great new things you're going to be rolling out. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it, Tim, and all the best with Scintilla.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this insightful. We'll leave all the links in the description so you can check out Tim's profile as well as Scintilla. But thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, and let's go. Wonderful. Hi.